Well, it works now. I was uploading some stuff on my computer, and I guess that was affecting it, so I stopped that. But anywho, now that that whole thing is over, I will say I did buy a new mug, and I was sipping that the whole time. It was very nice. I wasn't sipping the mug, I was sipping in the mug. That was very nice. Yeah, I went shopping today, and I was like, there's a bunch of new mugs in this store. So I bought 3. I think one of them might be a bowl, but I don't know. The new one, well, all 3 are new, but the one I really like is like, it's the round one, so it's like the other one, except it's got like a matte finish. And it's got these little designs, so it feels very nice to hold. And it's nice drinking tea out of it now. It's like warm and it feels good. Now that we've gotten the tea discussion out of the way, what say we actually just read this game? Oof. I am super down to just play this game now. Ugh. Shoot, it's gonna do that now because it thinks... One sec, I can fix this. Don't. One sec. I can stop this from happening. The little jitters, it's because I switched from Wi-Fi to LAN to Wi-Fi to LAN continuously. And now it doesn't know which one I'm connected to. So it's like, ah. That would happen throughout the whole thing if I just left it. But it's back now, don't worry. There we go. Much better. So, I should have gotten a glass of water for this. Morgana spent the following day at my apartment as well. It was a sunny Sunday, and we started it with a walk. Took a brief detour to the cafe Maria worked at. Did some light shopping. Then went home and watched a movie. Concerned she might get bored doing all the same things again, after the movie we played video games. Oh heck! Oh heck, they finally acknowledged that he's got a PS4! I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Finally, he teaches her how to be a gamer girl. Morgana, more like Major Liga. Hell yeah. Oh, I wasn't much of a gamer myself, though. I mostly use the console to watch movies. I knew it! What did I say? He bought it to play Blu-ray videos. What did I say? I knew it! So I bought the digital version of some racing game, and we had at it. We were both absolutely terrible, which helped keep things fun and not overly competitive. In our final race, Morgana's car spun out, and she ended up driving backwards through the course, causing me to laugh so hard I dropped my controller. What? After that, she refused to play with me anymore, or even talk to me for a good while. No! Get her Animal Crossing! Monday morning, I had to go to work. It was the first time in my life I'd ever felt like an obligation, a burden. Morgana and I spent a good 90% of our time arguing about something or other, but on some level, it seemed I'd actually come to enjoy those conversations. Having to leave that behind for work only made me realize I wasn't working because I enjoyed it, but because I convinced myself it was all I could do. It was a way to ensure no one would be able to claim I hadn't accomplished anything when I returned to Sicily. So no one could look down on me. So no one could challenge me. I'd always believed that money and power were all one needed to get whatever they wanted in life. And I'd forfeited any semblance of a personal life to achieve that. Even now, I wasn't entirely convinced that belief was wrong either. What things did modern society place the most value in, after all? Personal assets and social standing. The more time I spent with Morgana, though, the more these pillars of my life wavered. She didn't care for fancy restaurants and was more than happy to eat some cheap meal that only took 10 minutes to throw together. She found beauty in the ordinary, not just things designed to appear beautiful. Filtered through her eyes, the world seemed gentler than the one I knew. Which was especially curious as she herself was anything but gentle, mercilessly sharp-tongued and aggressively aloof. Yet because of her, the wind on my cheeks felt warmer now. I put my heart at ease in a way I couldn't help but think. I'd felt this way before, long, long ago. That it wasn't arbitrary. That there was an explanation for the peace she provided me. I stopped doing regular overtime at work, but before I had written everyone off as unreliable and useless, deciding it would be best to simply handle everything myself, I started delegating some of that work back to my subordinates. Everyone was shocked at the sudden change in my demeanor. Many were upset at the reduced efficiency that resulted from it. It was their work to begin with. They had no grounds to complain. People were going to be talking about me behind my back. That much was inevitable when their workload increased. Even more so considering I was already disliked for how often I yelled at and chewed people out. But I didn't have time to bother myself with other people's opinions. Before, I might have been worried it would affect my prospects of promotion, but now I wasn't especially concerned. I was doing what I needed to do and not a single thing more. He's not trying to rise into power! Ah! My priority now is getting home as quickly as possible, so I could teach Morgana about the world. And then, before I realized it, 2 weeks had passed since I'd taken her in on that rainy night. Still, she was staying at my apartment. Sometimes I'd ask her with a sigh, "When are you planning to go home already?" To which she'd respond, puffing her cheeks, "You're free to kick me out whenever you please." Except I couldn't, which was why we were in this situation in the first place. Did she challenge me knowing I wouldn't call her bluff? That I didn't actually want to throw her out anymore. Over the past couple of weeks, I'd brought more books and movies than I could count so she could keep herself occupied while I was at work. And shocking even myself, I'd given her a spare key as well. Something was clearly loose in my head. Doing things for her made me feel good, though. And as insane as I rationally knew I was, I couldn't fight how it made me feel. Over and over and over again, I argued with myself. Never once did good sense win out. I must confess I'd grown quite fond of this new life. It was a Thursday, a little over 2 weeks since I'd met Morgana. The first day, all I'd managed to do was force an umbrella onto her. Never could I have imagined that encounter that we'd effectively be living together soon after. Not enough time had passed to really reminisce about how far we'd come, but nevertheless, the change was undeniable. Damn it! That was already past 8. So much for no more overtime. It's hard to believe 8:30 feels late to me now. She's probably already eaten by now. Surely she's not waiting for me. Hey, I'm home. Morgana? Hello? Morgana? Are you there? It's bedtime. Oh. I couldn't find her anywhere in the apartment. She wasn't asleep, and she wasn't in the shower either. She was just gone. As if the last 2 weeks had all been a dream. We weren't family, nor were we really living together. But I'd gotten so used to having someone there to snark at me when I got home. It felt off to be greeted by silence. No. My first thought was that something had happened to her. She was hurt or in danger. But the apartment was just how I'd left it, and the door was still locked, and there was no sign of anyone breaking in. She had to have left on her own volition, locking the door behind her. Could she have gotten into trouble somewhere else, then? Nah, for God's sake. I've got no way of getting in touch with her either. I should have bought her a phone. And a spare in case she lost it. Do I go looking for her? Call the police, maybe? Oh, slow down. Why was I acting like she needed to be here when I got back? After how many times I told her to get out? I never meant it as anything more than banter. How she was supposed to know my intention? Wouldn't it have made more sense for her to have just gone home, as opposed to something actually happening to her? Then I was the only one enjoying our time together, and she had finally gotten tired of me for good. I mean, thinking back, she'd clearly always seemed annoyed. Constantly complaining, never smiling. Telling me who even knows how many times I should burn in hell. No, it's just a way of saying we're friends. What if I'd misread her and she wasn't joking? And every day here was piling on more and more stress. As much as I'd continued to insist she was a child, it wasn't like she was primary school or middle school age. She was old enough to think and make decisions for herself. In fact, judging from the short time we'd been together, she was very mature for her age. She wasn't going to be completely helpless if something did happen to her. So I guess that's that. She's through with me then, huh? I wish she would have at least said goodbye, but I guess to her we were just strangers, so... Meh. I wasn't so much as angry as I felt bummed. Hiya, Vivi. Morgana left us for evsies. Without even saying goodbye, I can't believe. I tossed the movie I'd bought over lunch onto the counter, then collapsed into the couch. And she just comes home with, like, pizza. She always sat right here, in this spot. She was small, barely took up any space, but the hole left in her absence felt larger than life. The room was uncomfortably quiet now. It felt like the temperature had dropped several degrees as well. You should just be a poet. Bah! This is just a return to the status quo. It's nothing to get upset about, you fool. Me. Guess I'll make myself dinner then. It's so silent. There's no music or anything. I stood motionless in the kitchen, unable to scrounge together the motivation to make anything, so I used store-bought tin pasta. I wasn't cooking for anyone else, so I didn't have to be anything fancy. Just warm up a can of spaghetti sauce and toss it. Never mind. Okay, it's not that crazy. He's pouring over some actual pasta. Toss it over some pasta. Easy. Huh? Was that the door? Oh! Yay! She did go out to get pizza, I knew it! Oh, hello. I thought you might be a bit longer tonight, making dinner for yourself, I see. Meh. She stood before me with a grocery bag in her hands. I stood before her, utterly stupefied. She frowned that oh-so-familiar frown. She didn't have to say a word and I could still hear her mocking me clear as day. I felt like all the wind had been sucked out of me, and with it the ability to lie. Yeah, I thought you'd gone home, so I did just come home! Ah! These two soothe me. I did just come home. We weren't on the same page. She seemed to think that by home I meant... Oh. It finally hit her. That without even missing a beat, she'd call my apartment her home. Ha! Ha 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 ha! Ha! What are you laughing about? It was just a slip of the tongue, okay? You don't need to make such a big deal out of it. Ha! Yeah, I know. It wasn't on purpose. Ha ha ha! But you're still laughing. I don't understand you at all. Yeah, it's okay. I don't understand myself one gosh dang bit either. Gosh dang? God damn it. Now it's my turn for a slip of the tongue. He's Western this whole time. I didn't talk like that in years. Just pretend I didn't say that. You didn't hear anything, okay? I think I prefer that to the alternative. I mean, well, I don't know why you feel the need to force yourself to blaspheme so often, but you would be much more approachable if you lightened up your language some. I'd appreciate if you did so around me, at least. If I feel the need, maybe. She smiled, a rare occurrence. It's not even a smug smile! Aww! But I couldn't bring myself to look her in the eyes. I absolutely wanted to take in every second of it, though. I was acting like a damn child. But it was getting to be impossible to deny that what was going on. I was a 26-year-old man and she was a good decade younger. It was wrong on so many levels to have these feelings about her. But I was entranced with Morgana, every time. You're allowed to sleep in your own bed, you know. I was getting ready to head to the living room for bed when Morgana interrupted me. Did this girl understand the meaning of her words? She was telling me I could sleep in the same bed as her. What if she was saying, hey, you can just take the bed and I'll just go sleep on the couch? You can't be getting much rest sleeping on the couch every night. And it's not like I'm going to be a distraction, am I? Oh, never mind. But that's not the issue. It's wrong for us to sleep in the same bed. There's no excuse. I don't follow your logic. It's wrong, so it's wrong. That's all there is to it. And I think it's wrong for you to have to go to work with bags under your eyes. You've been having trouble getting up in the morning lately. Wow, you pay more attention to me than I thought. If you're so concerned, you can sleep on the couch then. Wow! No way. I prefer the bed. Then why are you... If you insist you absolutely want to sleep on the couch, then who am I to stop you? But I am going to bed now, so good night. Alright, I'm back. Somehow Morgana managed to wear me down. Now we were both in bed. The same bed. I was pretty sure I'd rest better on the couch than here, both physically and mentally. To start with, being able to sense her presence behind me was incredibly distracting. And then there was a worry that I might accidentally roll over and crush her. Oh. That's like how I feel when like my puppo sleeps next to me. I'm like, oh. Luckily, they tend to sleep near your legs, though, so it's, like, less stressful in that regard. The worst of all was her body heat. I wasn't accustomed to being able to feel someone so close. You used to get that? Yeah. Don't you dare turn around, okay? I don't want to have to spend all night with your face in mine. There's a girl who insisted I use her bed tonight. Christ, okay, fine. I won't turn around, so get some damn sleep. She was still as a corpse behind me, but I could feel a tension in the air nonetheless. What was she getting worked up about? Jeez. The longer the silence continued, the more uncomfortable it grew. I sighed, letting it hang in the air before breaking it with a, "Hey!" She lurched slightly at the sound of my voice. Then, after another brief pause, she responded with a, "What?" If you can't sleep, maybe we can talk for a little. I don't mind, but what would we talk about? How about you finally tell me why it is you ran away from home? You really want to know? Of course I do. So you can give me your unsolicited advice. Meh. Oh, yeah, I did say something like that at the cafe a couple of weeks ago. It wasn't what I wanted to say, though. But maybe now, with her this close, I can stop putting on so much of an act. Maybe I can treat you a little better. Because I'm sincerely curious. I don't want to push my view onto you. I just want to get to know you better. Is curiosity such a bad thing? No, it's not. But my reasons are boring and trite. The truth is only going to disappoint you. I'm not asking because I want to hear a good story. Oh no. Do you believe in God? What? God? Where did that come from? I'm asking about you, not... Just answer the question. Right. Honestly, no, I don't believe in God. Not that I explicitly believe there isn't one either. But true believers are a minority in this day and age, especially in the first world countries. Churches have largely become venues for weddings and funerals. Right. Not many people believe in God in modern times, but I do. I believe in the Heavenly Father, who watches me from above. I believe He has the power to cause miracles, and I believe He has a divine plan which we mortals are incapable of straying from. Many generations ago, that was normal. Those without faith were burned at the stake. That's no longer true anymore. Today, if you say you love God, people will think you're old-fashioned, Or worse yet, incapable of rational thought at all. She was right. These days, people weren't punished for being faithless or believing in other gods, as would happen in ancient times. And for that, the world was a more peaceful and accepting place now. But these societal rules for acceptance had not gone away, merely transformed over the centuries. While you wouldn't be burned at the stake anymore, those with beliefs deemed unacceptable were still made into outcasts. Something I was guilty of doing as well. I frequently found myself frustrated at people who didn't see the world the same as me. I was closed-minded and unable to adapt to different ideas. Instead, I threw them to the curb, making no attempt to reconcile or understand, refusing to examine my own beliefs. When we first met, I probably would have laughed in her face if she told me she believed in God. The Heavenly Father, his divine plan, fantasy nonsense, all of it. I wouldn't have even given her the time of day. My mother is as much more devout believer than me, though perhaps you could say she depended on her faith. I told you about my father, right? And how I've never met him before. Well, supposedly the divorce was very difficult for my mother. So she took to attending a local church, bringing me with her. There she found fellowship, relief from her loneliness, salvation. There I had a home, a place to learn right from wrong, a place to confess my sins. What would a kid your age have to confess? Isn't the whole thing for people old enough to take responsibility for their actions? It wasn't anything I did. I have the black mark of sin on my very soul. Oh. Excuse me, what? My soul did not pass through the gates of God's judgment before entering a new mortal body. It is still blemished by the sins of my previous life. So they told me I must atone for those sins in this life. Who the hell told you that? The priest at the church? Listen to me, Morgana. You're allowed to believe whatever you want. I'm not gonna get on your case for being abnormally pious. But I draw the line at atoning for something you never did. It's ridiculous to think you're responsible for actions taken in the past life. Reincarnation blather is bad enough on its own. There's no reason to let vague notions of karma dictate your life now. At first, I felt the same way as you. Why should I have to pay for sins I have no knowledge of? But the bishop and my mother, they told me that the hideous scars on my body were evidence of the sins of my soul. I saw many doctors about them, but not one could identify the cause. Which meant it couldn't be a physical ailment, but a sign from God. A curse to always remind me of how tainted my soul is. And that's absolute horseshit. Your mother and that bishop are swindling you. And I probably would have agreed with you if I didn't have these memories that don't belong to me. What? Memories that don't? That golden field of wheat immediately popped into my mind. I had memories that didn't belong to me too. In them, a hazy silhouette of a girl. In these memories, I cast a curse upon others for centuries. I brought suffering to good people around them as well. I spread nothing but hatred. I resided in a dismal grey mansion with the air of death filling its halls, and in it, I trapped the souls of 3 men. 3 men and the people closest to them, condemned for eternity for no reason other than their association. You think I'm crazy, I can see it. But think whatever you want, because I know how it sounds. Souls and curses in haunted mansions. It's all childish silliness. It was childish and silly. It was a kind of fantasy nonsense that had no place outside fiction. But I couldn't carry the words from my mind to my mouth. A chill ran down my spine, like a bony finger sliding down the skin, until it stopped at my heart. It was as if it was trying to say Morgana was talking about me. My mind was just playing tricks. There wasn't any evidence. The thought wouldn't leave me.
Is something the matter? Did you fall asleep?
No, of course not. I'm not gonna doze off in the middle of a conversation. I was just thinking about... Never mind, go on.
No matter how crazy anyone thinks it sounds, I still have these memories. I remember cursing those men for centuries, destroying their souls. And while they're not terribly vivid, I feel an inexplicable certainty that they are indeed real. So when they told me my scars were punishment for my sins, all the pieces fell into place. I made the 3 men atone for their sins, but I neglected to do anything about my own. So that's the purpose I've been given in this life, to acknowledge and repent for my past transgressions.
Assuming everything you said is true, and you did all of that, I still don't think you have anything to atone for. You had a reason to curse those men. They'd done something deserving of your ire. It's they who should be paying. Morgana wasn't the kind of girl to hate someone for an insignificant slight. While she could be vicious and caustic sometimes, she wasn't actually cruel. She was a sweet, selfless girl with a big heart. The proof was right here, in her insisting she needed to atone for sins she had no direct hand in. She's kind of like Whitehead Girl in this regard. I don't know, right now she just really reminds me of her. But that was who she was. She would carry the whole world on her back if she could. So when she said she had cursed 3 men for eternity, there was necessarily more there than a minor grudge. Something bad enough had happened to push her to take such drastic measures. Yeah, kind of like before they were separated. Someone had mistreated her so badly as to deserve an eternity of torment. Someone had. But regardless, it's stupid for anyone to have to pay for the mistakes of a previous life. You shouldn't let that dictate how you live now. Was that true, though? Obviously, she didn't need to atone for anything. What about those who had hurt her? If they were alive now, would I be able to say the same about them? Was it right to just let them move on? God, where was this train of thought even going? I had no idea anymore. For whatever reason, I was proceeding under the assumption that reincarnation and past lives were real, which had no scientific foundation. Was Morgana rubbing off on me? I needed to cool my head. There was no such thing as reincarnation. These memories I had of places I'd never been and things I'd never done were all fantasy. How's any of that supposed to be relevant, though? How does it lead to you sleeping in a park?
Be patient. I've always believed that, because of my transgressions, I have a responsibility to accept whatever happens to me. But something happened that I couldn't possibly bring myself to accept, and so I ran away. Because that was the simplest, most painless way to handle it.
So what happened? I didn't have to see her face to know she was faltering, unsure if she wanted to continue. I should have told her she didn't have to force herself, but I couldn't bring myself to stop her. I wanted to get to the root of the problem. I needed to know what was going through. Not out of some excessive degree of care for her, though, but largely for my own personal satisfaction. After a long silence, she muttered in a voice so soft a pin dropping would drown it out.
I'm of no use to my mum.
Did your mother actually say that to you?
My mum? My mother recently remarried to a man she met at the church. He's religious, so of course he's a good man.
She was mumbling absent-mindedly and didn't seem to be hearing me at all. This wasn't like her. She was always very direct when she spoke. It was making me uneasy. The shadowy figure seemed to tower over me, so I blurted out something, without thinking, to try and chase it off. Being religious doesn't make one a good person. That's not how it works. There are bad people everywhere. Not even heaven is an exception. Please, tell me what happened, Morgana. The longer she stayed silent, the more overpowering my anxiety grew. Why wouldn't she answer me? Why wouldn't she tell me? A black fog swirled around me, slowly filling the room. A black poison coursed through my veins, infecting my entire body. Did he do something unspeakable to you? Boundless rage swelled up within me, too great for me to restrain. Because if he did, I'll fucking kill him.
Calm down. He didn't hit me. He didn't touch me. He didn't do any of the things you're worried about.
And just like that, she pacified the hatred rising within me, leaving me aghast at my own reaction. And I just seriously entertained the thought of killing a man. And for what? Because I jumped to the worst possible conclusion, a completely baseless one at that. I wasn't being reasonable. I was acting like a feral dog. I was seconds from ripping a man's throat out for setting foot in my territory. It was absurd. Didn't matter how enchanted by her I was, that wasn't enough reason to murder her stepfather. I like to hope I had at least that much of my sanity intact.
All he did was tell the truth. He's in the right and I'm in the wrong.
Stop beating around the bush. If all he did was tell the truth, you wouldn't have run away.
I suppose. Maybe. He told me that I sickened him. The sound of my voice, the color of my eyes, the way I act, and most of all, the hideous scars on my body. He says he's physically repulsed by everything about me. He married my mother because he loved her, not because he cared about me, so I guess I was only served to get between them. Or perhaps my entire existence was offensive to him. He's told me many times that the world would be a better place without me, and everyone would be happier if I'd never been born.
How the hell is that telling the truth? Are you implying you deserved verbal beatings from your father figure because of some perceived sins committed in a previous life? A grown man has no place talking to a child like that, let alone his goddamn stepdaughter. He's the one in the wrong here, on all accounts. And your mother just lets him deride you like that.
My mother? She supports him in all his decisions, and I support her in that. She raised me as a single mother for so long. She deserves this chance to be happy. So I don't want to do anything to sabotage that.
You deserve to be happy just as much as she does.
God teaches that the righteous must place the needs of others before their own.
Who cares what? Oh, for Christ's sake. You have no problem telling me to burn in hell. Surely you have enough vitriol to spare for them. I don't get it. Why stand up for the man who deserves your anger the most?
Because he's family.
Being family doesn't give you a free pass to do whatever the hell you want. Someone being family doesn't obligate you to love them. And of course, the church wasn't gonna agree with me. You're supposed to unconditionally love your family, even if they weren't showing you any love in return. I would have taken the caustic, venom-tongued Morgana over this meek, self-sacrificing side absolutely any day. No matter how you may choose to deny it, this is abuse. Words can do as much damage as a fist. Tell me, how old are you? None of this I'm in my 20s crap. I want you to tell me the truth.
16.
As I'd suspected, she was a full decade younger than me, but having actual confirmation made it that much more real. It sickened me that a 16-year-old girl had to live like that. She was at an age where she needed her parents, yet neither of them were there for her. Do you go to school?
I did before running away. I'd never missed a day, or even been late.
Alright, then you should keep going. You'll have a lot more options if you graduate high school. Once you have, move out straight away. That's what your asshole of a stepfather wants anyway. I'm not telling you to do this for your family's sake, though, but for yours. Don't let him tear your life to shreds.
But what would I even do once I'm out of the house? I don't have to tell you how little about the world I know. I have no goals, no aspirations, no idea where to find any either.
You need to know what you want immediately. Finding it's a process. There's a whole wide world out there that you've never had the opportunity to explore. And you have me here. You can come back here as often as you want while you're working on graduating. In time, you'll find something you want to do. And I'll help you do it. Is that not good enough? You think there's nothing I can do to help?
You're certainly not the best for the job. You get impatient and frustrated whenever I'm trying to feel my way around. And you like to ramble on and on about useless trivia. You're the meanest teacher I've ever had.
I'll work on that.
I'm kidding, hehe. As long as you don't shout, you're fine as you are.
Oh, well, that's a relief.
Until now, I never knew that having someone get upset on your behalf could take so much weight off your shoulders.
Oh, you should tell Maria this shit. She's gonna kick up a storm. Well, I'll happily get upset at anyone if it makes you feel better. Luckily for us, I'm told I do have a bit of a temper.
Please keep your temper in check. I fear you might actually attack someone if you get too angry.
Actually, it's better if she doesn't tell anyone then. I mean, it's good that she told them, but maybe not Maria. Because Maria will absolutely take a knife. I would never. At least, not where you had to see it. That's not... Wait!
I'd prefer you didn't hurt anyone regardless of whether I'm watching. I trust you'll do the right thing, though.
She might not bring it. Yeah, she might hold it back a little bit. Probs.
After all, you are kind at heart, whether you show it or not.
Now that's the last thing I expected to hear from you. Is the world going to end tomorrow or something?
I take it back, you're not kind at all. You're just obnoxious and nosy.
Oh. I need to learn when to keep my mouth shut.
Thank you. Good night.
Of course, good night, Morgana, and sweet dreams. As I'd feared, her situation was far from ideal. Hopefully, she was able to find a glimmer of hope after our conversation. Family troubles weren't something that went away overnight, though. For all I knew, things were much worse than she'd let on, to the point that maybe even graduating high school was unrealistic. If that were the case, going back to school might not have been the best advice after all. All I could do was pray things weren't that bad. My advice was too vague in general to actually fix anything. And that was the best I could do for someone who was essentially still a stranger. You're at least an acquaintance at this point, maybe a friend. A family was a complete black box. I could only see the outcome, none of the process. It was frustrating. It frustrated me to no end. Friend at the very least, right? I would hope. Friend at the very least.
So you're going to look for a different way to be a fool then? Did you hear a single word I said? Why do I even bother? What madness is brewing in that hollow skull of yours now?
I'm gonna win your heart.
That was even worse than I imagined. You're possibly the world's biggest fool. Oh, what is it now? You want me to call you by your name? Why would I waste my breath?
Listen to how many times I'm saying your name.
You're not yourself today. You're never so forward. It's not right. Perhaps you ate something moldy. Besides, your name is just another word. It's nothing to get so worked up about. What are you, a child?
Are you disappointed in me?
I never said that. I'm not going to call you by your name, understood? For heaven's sake. Let's change the subject. The way you're silently staring at me is making my skin crawl, so, the lute. I would like you to teach me how to play the lute. Why? Is there something wrong with me wanting to know how to play? I suppose it is unusual, perhaps. I never had a chance to learn much of anything, though. I know little of how people normally entertain themselves, so I want you to catch me up on what I missed. And don't get upset if I'm a slow study. You do have an impossibly short fuse, after all. Perhaps it would have been better if we had done this sooner. I want you to forget everything I've said. This is a realm where nothing bad ever happens, right? So I'd like to indulge in this childish dream for a little while longer. Oh? This wasn't in that short story. This is new. I don't like this extra bit. You foolish, foolish child. Dreams don't last. You always wake up at the end. And the sweeter the dream, the more bitter reality tastes when you have to return. But you know that better than anyone, don't you?
I'm going to grab some water. My throat is so dry. I muted myself mid-sentence for some reason. I should have grabbed it initially, but I didn't. And then I went to mute myself. So. It's a Jacopo voice. His voice is actually, weirdly enough, the hardest one for me to do. Because it's like, it's got its own weird intonation, and I'm trying to be a little deeper, but it's not deep at all. Don't. It's like Michel's voice, but like, I don't know, more American? I don't know. Like I even mentioned before, their voices are so similar because they're both like just straight people. Like, they don't have any gimmick about them. It's mostly just, they talk straight at you. You know? But he's more soon. Yeah. Yaki's more soon, and also he's got that 1869 era in that's kind of attached himself to him. So he gets a little twinge in his voice. But still, gonna go get that water now. And maybe also get a cappuccino. Because why not? I made some tea and it got a little bit cold in the beginning. So I'm gonna get some nice hot cappuccino. Right? Right. Yeah, exactly. I deserve it. Whatever.
Beep boop. Flowers. Cappuccino. Emma Wood. My throat feels much better. Okay, whew. Well, someone's up early. You're even dressed. How unusual.
Meh. Oh, good morning. Yeah, I've got something to take care of this morning. Did you sleep well?
Well enough. No worse than usual, at least. And you? Did you sleep better than on the couch?
I did. I feel quite well rested. Actually, that was probably the worst sleep I've gotten in ages. She seems to have slept like a rock, though. I'm not sure how I feel about her letting her guard down so easily around a stranger, but I'll take it as a sign that she trusts me. Or maybe I'm just invisible to her.
You're a friend now. I trust you to keep your hands to yourself while I was sleeping.
I won't stand for any false accusations. You have my word. I didn't do a thing.
That's right. You promised you wouldn't touch me without permission, and you're a man who keeps your word. That's some impressive restraint, considering you wasted no time trying to bring me home.
The last time. You know that's not why I let you stay here. Wait, that makes it sound like you really were trying to come in onto...
Excuse me? Is there anything in that big head of yours? Lay a single finger on me and you're dead. In fact, you deserve to burn in hell for so much as entertaining the thought, you lecher.
Oh. Yeah, Jacopo, you gave her a key to your house. You let a stranger into your house and just let them just, like, stay there forever. Talking about trust. You're the one who let me into that, damn it. What's more impressive is how you can go from meek to and unassuming to spewing venom like an angry rattlesnake in the blink of an eye.
Well, as you know, I am a mean, bitter girl.
Huh. Everyone could use a bit of a mean streak, honestly. Life's no fun if you're always playing the goody two-shoes. Hear that, Pauline? It's time to take out that whip outfit. Forget the act and be like this around your parents, too. As long as you're comfortable with it, that is. Anyway, breakfast. I have to head out to work soon. Okay, off I go. Remember to lock the door if you go anywhere.
Wait.
Yeah.
After our conversation last night, I thought things over and decided I will go home.
What? And if that's what you want to do, then I support you. She gave me a little smile and a nod in response. Like an idiot, I felt a pang of disappointment that she was gonna leave. But I was happy she'd finally found the courage to face her family. And besides, that didn't mean I would never get to see her again. It wasn't the end of the world. I was a little concerned about how her stepfather would react. But regardless, she was still a minor and couldn't keep living with me forever. And she was in a better place now than she had been when she left. So surely she'd be able to get through to him. Give her a phone or something, though. Like an emergency, like, something bad's happened. Number, beeper thing. I don't know. I'm worried about her. Or at the very least, not let him walk all over her anymore. Yeah, just give her a flip phone or something, like a tab phone, something that's easy to use at the very least. And it's cheap, so you don't have to worry about her being like, me. And also it's indestructible, so you don't have to worry about her dropping it and breaking it. There we go. Nokia tab phone. If she started showing a little assertiveness, he'd probably be more liable to actually listen. And if even that wasn't enough, then well, I was willing to step in and act as a mediator if necessary. Well, if you're leaving, I can show you the way to the train station.
Actually, I was thinking of waiting until a school day. If I go back on a day off, then I don't have an escape route, and that scares me. But since it's Friday, I wouldn't be able to make it back in time for school today. So I was planning on leaving on Monday, which means I'll be here for 3 more days.
Huh. Quite the delinquent you've grown into.
I did have a very good example after all.
It was still morning, so she could absolutely make it back in time for school, albeit maybe a couple hours late. But she knew that as well as I did, and some things were better left unsaid. It wasn't hard to imagine her at a desk, diligently taking notes and doing classwork, a top student with a perfect attendance. Running away must have been like turning her whole world on it, her whole word on its head. Uh-oh. There's so much more to the world than school and studies. All you need to get out of it is a diploma. Everything else is a bonus. If you need a break, take a break. Wow! He's teaching her truancy! The outlaw life ain't half bad, now is it?
It could be worse. I managed to get by without feeling bad about skipping school, which would have been unimaginable before. But still.
Me.
I'm glad it was you who found me.
Morgana.
I said nothing, you hear?
Loud and clear. Ha! I heard nothing, and having heard nothing, I'm glad our paths crossed too.
Aww! Stop it! I'm gonna... Ah!
Oh.
You know, you're kind of creepy when you're being sincere.
Right back at you, kiddo. We both laughed, something I wasn't sure had ever happened before. Her smile was softer, warmer than normal, and I imagined mine was probably was too. Hey.
Yes.
Well, how do I put it? I thought that maybe I would be able to tell her how I felt. Oh, maybe not. Didn't seem right to take advantage of her when she was vulnerable like this. I also didn't want to make it too awkward for her to come back either. Not to mention the age difference. It was most important that she sorted things out in her life first. Yeah, probably. Ultimately, I decided against saying anything.
I'm gonna miss you, Morgs. Are you not going to finish that thought? If you have something to say, use your words.
It's nothing, I swear we've met somewhere before. No! That's gonna sound like a pickup line. I've been feeling that stronger and stronger these past few days, seeing in my dreams even, which is why I'm wondering, maybe we crossed paths sometime long ago.
You dream about me?
Oh, don't look at me like that. Let me guess, you think it's creepy.
No, it's not that. Just, I think I've been having dreams about you too. Let me guess, you think it's creepy?
Of course not. A little awkward, maybe, but not in a bad way. It's actually nice.
Maybe you're right. Maybe we have met before, somewhere.
I'm sure of it. I'm sure it was a lovely meeting too. Nothing bad happened. Now I really have to get out of here. I'll try to get home as soon as I can today. I know you're gonna say never come back, but...
I am not, actually. I'm kind of glad to hear that.
Oh, well, I guess I have no choice then. I'll do what I can.
Yes, please do. And have a nice day.
She didn't say burn in hell. You too. See you later. Oh no, she's gonna leave without saying anything! No!
I ended up staying here a lot longer than I'd anticipated. I'd ended up enjoying my time here far more than I could have imagined. Maybe because he paid so much attention to me. For whatever unfathomable reason, after 2 weeks here, there was mountains of new things in his apartment. Books and movies he would have never consumed on his own. Sweets and pastries in the kitchen. Some of nearly everything imaginable, as I had never explicitly expressed any preferences. Between the food and movies, much of it had never been opened and would likely go to waste, which made me feel bad. I told him more than once to stop buying things that wouldn't get used, and he would just brush me off and say he was doing it for himself. Looking mildly irritated as he did. Despite all his griping, he put a great deal of time and money into making this a place where I could feel comfortable. I couldn't understand why he went to such lengths for me, though. He had nothing to gain from it. It made so little sense to me for the first week. I'd even suspected he had some kind of ulterior motive. The way his words and his actions never seemed to line up made it even more difficult to trust him. After 2 weeks, I'd come to realize he was just a very roundabout man by nature. That was him trying to show kindness. Although honestly, I was hardly any better than him about that. I know I said I was going home, but it feels so much more like home here.
Oh, she's not leaving. Whew. I mean, sneaking out, leaving.
I raised the blinds, letting the morning sunlight into the room. Then I got to work on my daily routine, which began with cleaning the apartment. By now I knew where everything went. Once I was finished with that, I picked up the remote control, which I knew how to use well enough now to turn on the news. The sun slowly rose higher into the sky, and then it was lunchtime. First, I considered going out somewhere, and I only had 3 days left, and any time away felt like it would be wasted. So I rummaged through the pantry and fixed myself a simple lunch. After eating, I relaxed a bit on the couch, and soon it was mid-afternoon. At home, I'd never been allowed to so much as make myself a cup of coffee without asking for permission first. Damn. But here, I could make it however I wanted without having to go through anyone. So I made myself a cup with a little sugar and a little milk, brought it out to the living room, and took a seat on the couch. Then I picked up a book I hadn't read yet. Time slowly passed as I turned the pages. It was a kind of serenity I'd never experienced before. A peace of mind I could only feel here. As I turned the pages, a wave of sleepiness came over me. I could only imagine how wonderful the dream, if I were to fall asleep feeling so tranquil. The best would be that dream about the fields of wheat, so I could see what came next. That sea of gold swaying in the wind, that gentle welcoming homeland. That tall shadowy figure standing beside me. I know, I'm worried. Ah, jeez. I don't like that it's all black and stuff now. What's this? I don't like. Well, don't you just look absolutely exuberant, my dear? Enjoying your life as an ordinary girl, are you? What? Who's there? Who's there? What an utterly preposterous question. I'm almost ashamed to look at you after that. Nothing comes next in the dream, for that realm is naught but an illusion, my dear. This is your continuation. What do you mean? Precisely what I said. You have no troubles or worries here, do you? You left your past behind to bask in an illusory happiness, blind to the fact that every second of it was based on lies. That's not true. This is real. It's not a lie. And besides, I have plenty of worries here too. Certainly things seem difficult to you now, but they're all trivial concerns next to what you went through before this. Before? It started coming back to you, hasn't it? The sins of your past life have begun taking shape in your memory. You're beginning to accept that you deserve those hideous scars. So open your eyes and face it. My eyes are open. Not all the way, my dear. You only let yourself see the pretty frame, telling yourself it's the whole thing while ignoring the painting within. Hopefully, the illusion doesn't shatter too quickly. But you can say, your soul was much more deeply affected than theirs were. The weight of your sins is greater than you can imagine. It's not something you can simply leave in the past. Please stop. Can't bear to hear the sound of your voice. You wish to be rid of me? I'm sorry, my dear. That's simply not possible. Not now that your memories are beginning to resurface. You could have gone on as you were if you hadn't met him. But the gears of fate have fallen into place. There's nothing you can do to stop it anymore. I don't understand what you're trying to say. Oh, but you do, my dear. You've merely averted your eyes from the truth. You must face it. Accept the path you found yourself on. Stop. But do remember, I am not the one who put you there. Yours is a path of your own creation, built upon the sin you carry on your soul. The sin of... Stop, please, I'm begging you. The sin, please, of the witch. You cannot escape me, because you are me. There is no leaving the past in the past and starting over for you. You must never forget the pain they inflicted, the sorrow you felt, the isolation and despair, the hatred. You can't pretend those years of agony just never happened. No. Stop. Get away. Get out of me. No! Don't remember him! Why? Tell me you didn't harm her, dog. I smell blood. Oh wait, that's Yak. Oh no. You only instructed me not to kill her. Mistakes were made. Limbs were lost. I cleaned up all the blood I got on me. No one suspected anything. But you were able to immediately recognize it as a smell of blood. Says quite a bit, Lord. You have killed before, haven't you? No. Enough yapping. She is alive, yes. Or I knew her years ago. I see. What do you want to do then, Lord? You look sick.
What do I want to do? Obviously. This doesn't change anything. We lock the witch up and proceed as planned.
Remember exactly who it is, whose hand you're considering accepting. No.
Hey, Morgana, you're right. Can you hear me? Are you feeling sick? Are you okay? She's conscious at least. What happened? Help me out here. Do you want me to take you? Do you want me to call an ambulance?
No doctor will be able to help me.
You're on the ground unconscious, though. What? Whoa, you can't just stand up so fast. You need to lie down and rest. Hang on, I'll go get some water.
Who are you?
Huh? What the hell? Did you hit your head when you fell?
What are you doing here?
Morgana.
No! Tell me, which one of you are you now? Are you the lord who murdered the witch?
What are you?
Are you the businessman who drove his wife to ruin?
What on earth?
No! Or are you the slave man?
Or...
Which one are you?
I'm...
Or do you not remember anything? Are you the one who gets spared from the suffering? Tell me, who killed the witch?
Oh God, no.
No! Why?
A lost missing piece of the puzzle clicked audibly into place. Oh. His form filled my vision. His face was frozen in terror as if witnessing the end of the world. Her form filled my vision. Her face was twisted in hatred as if witnessing the end of the world. It all came flooding back, and I was once a witch with miraculous healing powers in my blood. I had cursed this man for all eternity with a fate worse than death. It all came flooding back. I was once a feudal lord who imprisoned her to steal her blood, turning into the witch. I'd yearned for a chance to atone.
The time I'd shared with the slave man meant the world to me. He had gone and crushed that world along with all my good memories.
I'd loved her with all my heart. Then I'd gone and crushed her along with everything she held dear.
While I understood he hadn't done any of that this time, still, I was overcome with a hatred unlike any I'd ever experienced before.
I had no answer for her. I couldn't explain what I was doing here. Thoughts and memories and feelings spanning centuries swirled about in my mind. So disconcerting and chaotic it made me nauseous.
Hey, Phoenix.
I didn't reject it as outrageous or unreasonable. These were my sins, my mistakes, regardless of when they happened.
This man had murdered me.
I'd murdered her.
Though I'd loved him.
Though I'd loved her.
Why did the memories have to come back now, though? Why this exact moment? I could have moved forward with my life, found happiness if only these memories had just stayed lost in the past. But there was no escaping them now. There was no laughing it off and moving on from this. dare you show yourself before me after everything you've done? All the pain and suffering you inflicted, all the hope you took in your hands and crushed. I vowed we would never cross paths again. I engraved it on your soul. I despise myself for coming so close to opening up to you.
What? Wait, please. Hold on, Morgana.
Don't you dare utter my name again. Why? God, why? This is just cruel. Right as I thought my life wasn't going to be miserable anymore, this happens. Why should I have to be at the mercy of these century-old memories? Why won't you let me forget it already? I wish I didn't have any of these accursed memories ingrained in my soul. Michel, when you set me free, it was the witch you released, not the girl. Pulling back the curtain was enough to stop me from being a witch. But what lay behind that curtain is just a source of new pain for the powerless girl I've become. Because the man responsible for breaking my spirit, fracturing my soul, killing my body, and setting into motion a tragedy spanning a millennium was also the man I'd loved. The truth he revealed was unbearable. So I chose not to bear it at all. The second I lifted the curse, I closed my eyes and decided I simply wouldn't acknowledge that fact. The end of the curse was only me letting go, not facing up to that revelation. What could I have done? Going down that path would only bring me more pain, like I'm feeling now. I wanted nothing to do with it anymore. No hatred, no forgiveness, no reunions. I just wanted to be rid of it all. Why can't things ever go the way I want? Michel, will you offer salvation to this powerless girl as well? Will you take my hand once again? Or will it have to be...
Morgana. Morgana.
Did I black out again?
Morgana.
Who's there? Who's calling for me?
Oh!
No!
Finally found you, you snot-nosed brat. Do you have any idea how much time you made me waste searching?
Stop! Ow! It took me a few moments for my mind to catch up with what was happening. Where I was, when I was, who I was. His angry shouts echoed in my still jumbled head.
I think you think you have any right to run away and give me more work when I'm the one supporting you and your mother?
Ow, stop! Don't yank me like that! Let go of...
You want me to let go, huh? Then you should start doing as I say. Come on, we're going home. Don't you think about giving me any more trouble, you hear?
My chest tightened. My spirit, shackled and repressed for so long in this era, went cold. The sound of this man's voice terrified me regardless of what he was saying. The higher he raised it, the more I recoiled. Over the years, his poison had seeped deep into me. And I glared at him. I wasn't going to let him order me around anymore. I was done. Done with him and everything else that hurt me. If you want to hit me, then go right ahead. I'll take that over going home with you. I'd rather you just killed me here and got it over with.
You insolent little brat. You're gonna regret that. I'll fix you right up so you never talk back to me like that again.
Stop! Get your hands off her!
What are you?
Lay your hand on her one more goddamn time and I'll kill you right where you stand.
Who the hell do you think you are? She's my daughter and this is a private family matter.
I don't give a fuck who you are. You try touching her again. You try touching Morgana again and see what happens.
You know her name. I see how it is. You abducted her, didn't you? You monster. I'll see you put behind bars for this.
No, stop! He didn't do anything! He's a complete stranger!
Don't you lie to me, child. If it wasn't him, where have you been in the last 2 weeks? You can't say, can you? You run off, not a cent in your name. Then you fall in with the first man you find. Shameless little leech.
The only reason she had to run away is because you're an abusive sack of shit. Maybe you should reflect on your own actions before you start criticizing hers, huh?
Abusive me? You don't know the first thing about me. I never once raised my hand on her until today, and only as a disciplinary measure.
Abuse doesn't have to be physical, asshole. Verbally attacking her and not properly providing for her. That all counts as abuse, too. Believe me, I know now.
You keep your nose out of our family business, you hear me? I don't know what you are to her, but I'm her father. You don't get to say anything. Do us both a favor and scram. Unless you really do want the cops involved, because I'd be happy to call them for you. Whose side do you think they're gonna take, huh? Her father's or some man she just picked up off the street?
Go right ahead. You're not gonna scare me off with that empty threat.
Stop. Please stop it. I'll go home with you, okay? Stop making a scene.
Why would you let him have his way, Morgana?
That's enough. Let go of my father, please.
But he hit you.
I don't want to make a big scene, so please just stop.
One more punch for the road.
He's right. He has the upper hand here. Regardless of the circumstances, Jacopo still housed a 16-year-old girl for 2 weeks without her parents' permission. If I were just a little older, this would be so much more simple. I'm sorry for running away and making you look for me. I promise I won't disobey you ever again. So please, turn a blind eye just this once.
Morgana.
Oh, just look at who's boss here. I don't want you to get anyone else involved either, so I'll let this whole kerfuffle aside.
Asshole.
Let's go, Morgana.
No.
Morgana. I've one last thing I want you to know, please. The only thing I want for you is for you to be happy. I wish I could have given you that myself, but that's beyond my power. I know it all too well. It was he who took your hand and led you to salvation. That's something I could never do. I had no right to do. I remember everything I did to you now, so I promise you this. I won't force myself to be a part of your life anymore. But I hope you'll still let me wish that you can live a happy, normal life this time around.
You planning to keep us here all night? Get moving.
I pray that you'll find happiness wherever it may be.
Yeah, and then Maria came. The inside of his car reeked of cigarette smoke. Every breath I took felt like it would make me gag. Jacopo smoked too. The smell at his apartment wasn't nearly so repulsive. My father, stepfather, pushed me into the back seat and then drove off grumbling into the night. And I realized then how different grumbling out of spite and grumbling out of love could sound, even if the words were unchanged. From time to time, I glanced out the window to see Paris zooming by as the car barreled down the road. I suspected I would never see this place again, never visit his house again. The light I had found over these past 2 weeks was dimming before my eyes. And once we were home and the light faded completely, I would be a bird in the cage, alive but not living. In the blink of an eye, it's all gone again. And I guess that's just how it works. Our farewell back then was sudden as well. Wait, what am I thinking? I'm glad he's out of my life. I never wanted to see his smug face again. Now I don't have to worry about any of those intrusive feelings he causes me. Hatred, anger, hopelessness, the tiniest bit of fondness. The more I tried to push his memory away, the louder his final words came back to me.
I hope you'll still let me wish that you can live a happy, normal life this time around.
And how do you expect me to do that when I'm trapped in this cage? I did this. Felt something I didn't remember in my pocket. It was a small handwritten note. Careful not to alert my stepfather, I unfolded the square of paper, and written in it was a neat list of addresses and phone numbers. At first I couldn't figure out what they were for, but as I read further, the pieces began falling into place. It was contact information for a wealth of social services and scholarship programs. Everything from services run nationwide by the government to small local ones. Every square inch of paper was packed to the bursting point with his handwriting. When on earth had he found the time to collect all this information? I hadn't told him about my family situation until last night.
Oh, good morning. Yeah, I got something to take care of this morning. Do you sleep well?
Is that why he was up so early? What is wrong with him? Maybe the list was meant for himself and he had been planning to contact these places as a way to help me. Maybe giving the list to me wasn't originally his intention. It was really just notes for himself, pure information, not some kind of message. However, I felt as though I could hear him in every line, like I could feel the heart he poured into it, in the form of his voice. And he was saying, "Your life is yours and yours alone." You know, Jacopo, I really hope we don't ever cross paths again. Nothing good could it possibly come from us meeting in the next life. I'm tired of having to deal with you. I hate you, and I pray I never have to see you again. But should you wish to see me, and should that wish take priority over my own, promise you'll treat me well. And if you can manage that, then I... I was wrong. I thought I remembered everything. Apparently a few fragments of that childish dream were still missing. It wasn't merely a fantasy, but a dream seen by both a soul in the throes of its... by a soul in the throes of its destruction. His soul was on the brink of a complete eradication, bound in place and soon to be lost forever. It was his final wish, brought on by the weight of his guilt. While I'd freed the souls trapped in the mansion, he had never wanted to be set free, and having been denied his eternal penance, he chose to erase himself from the world entirely. What are you doing here? And that the answer to that question was in me. I was the one who had led him out of that dream, prevented his soul from being lost to eternity. Can I get a hug? And then she goes through all of her stuff, and then she joins their house cafe thing. Eek! Oh, this is it. This is that part at the end of the happily ever after bit. All right. She's a bit overwhelming. I hope the landlord isn't quite so boisterous. She said he was a pretty young man. Well, I should at least say hello. I can leave my bags inside and unpack when I'm done. Oh, a butterfly. How did you get in here? It's moving kind of sluggishly. Don't worry, I'll get you back outside where you belong. Take care. And this is the place. I'm not looking forward to this. Too many new people in one day.
Coming! It'll just be a second.
A woman's voice? But the landlord's a man, isn't he? Maybe his sister or wife.
I'll get it.
Wait, that voice.
It is probably the new girl. We should both go out to greet her.
Ah.
Yep, you are right. It's our new neighbor. It's a pleasure to have you, and...
No! Don't do this to me!
It's a pleasure Oh, Michel now. It's a pleasure to have you and welcome to the building. Well, that's what I was planning to say when I opened the door anyway. I assumed, like everyone else, she wouldn't remember us. So I simply wanted to provide her with a warm, friendly greeting. Help her feel at home. But she interrupted me before I could finish.
We meet again. Show me the picture! Give me a picture! Ah! Are you just going to keep staring? Don't tell me you don't remember me. I don't want to serenade you with a millennium's worth of our dark history together on my first day. You know who we are? Would you rather I didn't? Oh, you wound me, my dear. No, of course not. Oh, it's really been far too long.
Morgana, I'm so glad to finally see you again. Did you choose this apartment knowing we were here? Did you come here so we can meet again?
You might want to deflate that head of yours a bit. Of course I didn't. If I knew you were here, I would never have chosen to live here.
They could be our new parents!
I nearly had a panic attack when you answered the door. Never in all my life did I expect our fates to cross once more.
I see. A little reincarnation wasn't enough to change you.
Oh, but I know you're just as happy to see us, aren't you? I can see it on your face. You're surprised, but in a good way. Someone is rather sure of themselves. Seeing that stupid smile of yours, I've changed my mind. I'm annulling the contract and finding a new apartment. Farewell. Whoa! You're joking, right? We haven't seen each other in so long.
Could you perhaps set the acridity aside just for the occasion? Remember, we agreed to become friends if by some infinitesimally slow chance we were to meet again. Or did you not hold that promise as dearly as I? Because it meant quite a bit to me.
You silly man. Not good friends and not acquaintances either. Just plain friends. I can't believe it's actually happening.
So
Yes, let's. Yes, let us be friends.
Huh. Well, it's good to have you here, Morgana. If there's anything you need, let us know.
The pleasure is mine, Michelle, Giselle. You are my new parents now, so.
On that fateful day, we found each other again. I knew nothing of her life from before our reunion, although the same could be said of everyone. I believe that our crossing paths was a sign of good fortune, the start of a new, brighter chapter, free of the kinds of tragedies we'd once endured. I only had my own experiences to compare against, though, and I couldn't say whether anyone else's new struggles and ordeals felt the same way to them, nor was there anything I could do to help them through them either, which was probably for the best. People's lives were not a thing you could or should simply go sticking your nose into. It was their life and their choices to make, not mine. I assumed the circumstances were different enough from before, that they had the freedom to make their own decisions this time. Time trotted on unwaveringly, and soon the first week of June was upon us. The first few days we mostly spent catching up with each other, sharing stories of both this life and past. But now things had settled into a more normal routine. Morgana had evidently been through quite a bit before moving into our building. While she didn't go into any detail, between the lines she painted a picture of a troubled relationship with her family. At one point, I asked if there was anything we could do to help, to which she responded, "It's already been taken care of." Seeing the relief on her face and hearing it in her voice, I took that to be the honest truth rather than attempt to downplay her situation. So I left it there, and that was all I knew from before she moved in. Naturally, I was more than willing to lend a hand if need be, but I got the feeling that wouldn't be necessary, at least not in this life. I meant that in the best way possible. I sensed a strength in her now, different than the powers she wielded in past lives. The strength to press forward in the face of any adversity. So if she were to ever take my hand, it wouldn't be me leading her, but the two of us walking shoulder to shoulder. Friends, nothing more, nothing less.
One check I got. Go. I hope this becomes a super big wholesome end for everyone.
I mean, I'm so glad that these guys are just having a great time. That's amazing. But I want to see everyone all together. Yeah, just like in the cafe, just doing cafe stuff. They just love the whole cafe bit. It's such a like, yeah, see everyone at the cafe, although I guess Yaki's currently in the whole don't ever show your face around me again, so maybe not for him. I'm gonna BRB.
Ugh.
Dude. No woes. Alright. This is Misha, I assume. Looking at it from a distance, nothing about our reunion could be considered ordinary. But we lived it every day, so it was easy to forget. To fall into the mindset that this was how things always were. That quiet and uneventful was the norm rather than a fleeting miracle. That was wonderful, I thought. It was something both Morgana and I long sought after. At long last, attaining it in this new life. Though I was able to brush off the majority of everyday grievances, including Morgana having turned a bit. Oh, turn a bit slovenly. Oh.
Giselle, more tea. Coming right up. Giselle, I'm out of munchies. You ate all of those already? Giselle, rub my shoulders. Why you? All right, sure.
Sorry, no. This is one thing I cannot let slide. You can't just come over, throw yourself on the couch, and start ordering Giselle around like she's your personal maid. You need to stop enabling her, Giselle. She's going to be beyond saving soon if you keep on like this.
Oh, I'm doing it again. It is like I'm programmed to obey her. She is my personal maid, so I fail to see the issue here.
She doesn't belong to you. She's not a maid anymore either.
Oh, you're so fussy, my dear. Remind me. Who was it who said you can come over whenever you like? Weekdays, weekends, holidays. We're always happy to have you.
Yes, I said that, and I meant it. But I didn't say you could fashion yourself a queen. You sprawled out on the couch, stuffing your face with junk food and playing phone games as legitimate nightmare fuel. Oh,
get over it. The last millennium was very hard on me. I've decided to take the next 80 or so years off to relax.
I have nothing against taking things easy, but you can't take your whole life off, because your last one was too hard. She's a gamer. No, she's a phone gamer. The last few weeks have made one thing very clear. You're even worse than me at taking care of yourself.
Why take care of myself when I can have someone do it for me? Oh dear, you sound like King Neat era Michel. Well, you certainly didn't have it easy, that is for sure. I want you to be happy this time, as much as possible. See, Giselle's on my side.
Please don't let her walk all over you, Giselle. She needs to shape up if she ever wants to be able to live on her own.
You sound like her father. Oh, on that note, do you have any ideas for when you get out of here, Morgana? Any dreams? Anything you want to do?
It's Jacopo's fault for introducing her to video games, exactly. Oh, Vivi, you missed it, but they played video games together. But then they were both terrible because Jacopo, just as I predicted, bought the console to play videos.
Swearing in my stream, how could you?
Although I feel like heck might be worse. Heck, I said it. Heck! What a nerd.
You're 17 right now, right? You must have transferred here because there was something you had your eyes on. I'd do anything to help you make your dreams come true, Morgana. You assume the best of everything, and I can only assume that means there's something wrong with your head. What was that, little girl? Because it sounded incredibly rude. Oh, you don't need to worry about it. It was merely an expression of surprise. No offense intended. You really don't feel the slightest bit of animosity towards me, do you? If I were you, I would be praying my dreams ended in disaster, not offering to help them make reality. Oh, Morgana, not everyone can hold a grudge as well as you. It is all water under the bridge. I couldn't be happier to have you back. Sure, it may not have been fun all the time, or at the time, but I overcame those trials, and that experience is an important part of who I am. Not to mention, the only reason I am here today, living with Michel, is because you wished it for us. If anything, I am extremely grateful to you.
She makes it sound like I'm the unreasonable one for holding a grudge, but I don't know how anyone couldn't. And I could never imagine coming to see all that pain as important.
Giselle and Michel, they helped me though. They fought to free me from that cycle, and for that they are important.
But never in 1,000 years will they hear me say that. This soon.
Something on your mind, Morgana?
Oh, nothing.
Nothing worth mentioning. I was simply admiring the dumb look on your face. Hey,
If it is not worth mentioning, don't mention it. Well, I should head down. Maria is probably waiting for me.
Oh, I didn't realize it would be so late. Oh, it was so late. Is there anything I can help you with?
Nope, we've got it. Everything is going smooth as butter. You should drop by and say hi later on, and bring Morgana too.
Will do. I'll make drinks and bring them down in a bit.
I'm staying right here. This boss isn't going to beat itself.
Now.
All right, well, I'll see you in a bit.
Oh no. Morgana, please.
It sounds like everything's moving along nicely.
So smoothly, I'm no longer needed. The renovations are almost complete and she's hoping to open for business by the end of the month. I thought the whole process would take a little longer, and that she would be counting on me more for it.
We both know you weren't made to play co-op. If you want help, set up an office and start filling it in spreadsheets.
As ruthless as ever, I see. Morgana, could you consider not being stubborn for a few minutes and coming down to see them?
I'm not being stubborn. I'm just taking control of my life.
Oh, one sec. Delinquent Morgana? Yes, absolutely. I was actually thinking that the whole time. I swear there's like art of that. I feel like I've seen that. Or maybe it was... No, it was definitely white-haired girl in a delinquent look for some reason.
You make it sound like I'm throwing a tantrum. But there's a lot more on the line here than a kid whose mum won't buy her ice cream.
Do you think your old memories could ever, say, push you forward rather than constantly hold you back? Not long ago, I had a curious dream. In it, I saw a vision of what seemed to be a park at night. You were sitting on a bench, pleading for me to help you. You said that while I had brought salvation to the witch Morgana, in doing so I'd only cause more pain for the ordinary girl Morgana. I suspect that wasn't just a dream.
Well, you suspect wrong. No such thing ever happened, and I don't need any help.
Alright, I'll take you at your word. There is even a hint of truth to what I saw. Know that I'm here and ready to help you with anything. Not to take your hand and lead you, though, but to give you a push forward. Morgana.
Sometimes I don't understand how I'm still here. Everything in this world has a maximum capacity. The soul is no exception.
During my time in that mansion, I should have reached my capacity. It's no small task binding multiple souls in one place for so long. By all rights, I shouldn't have had enough left to be reborn into a human body like this. Assuming there was enough left to come back at all, it should have been in something more fleeting. Despite all that, I managed to be born into the same generation as you, and it baffles me every time I think about it.
Perhaps because there was another soul inside you that replenished some of that missing energy.
I highly doubt her soul is a part of me now, because if it was...
You'd be more affable?
Excuse me? Don't put words in my mouth. But yes, that's what I was going to say.
I think she's in there with you, myself. You're softer now than when you were the witch. Softer, and you have more heart too. I believe that in time, you'll start to see more of her influence in you. And that with her help, you'll be able to start truly living in the present, not chained to the past as you are now.
Well, hopefully you're right. He's probably right that she, the other me, is to thank for being born into this world. But she's not the only reason. I'm sure of that.
But back to my original question, can I convince you to come down and say hi later? Maria should be there too. You don't have any grudge against her, do you? I'm only privileged to bits and pieces of what happened, but I was under the impression that Maria took good care of you, and you were fond of her yourself as well. Can I assume then you simply think a meeting with her would be awkward?
Not at all, Mr. Armchair Psychologist. As I said, I've got a boss who needs...
A boss you've left untouched this entire conversation?
Oh, fine, you win. I'll go say hi. But that's it. You wanted to make drinks for them, right? Then I'll help. It's hot and muggy out, so don't forget the ice.
Good catch, Morgana.
Chairs over here. Oh, and the plants by the door. Then we want... Oh, Michel! And you brought Morgana. I'm so glad... Oh, so glad you decided to come down. I'm going back up as soon as you have your drinks. My coffee went cold. Hey now, don't be like that. At least you have to look at the patio while you are here. We have got a few tables set out in a section of the courtyard. Come on, it's over here.
Oh!
This actually looks pretty cute. It is just lovely, isn't it? It's not bad.
Hey, I got those plants you were talking about. Holy shit! Now there's a face I didn't expect to see. How have you been holding up, girl?
Wait,
You two know each other? From this time or from before?
No, she doesn't remember anything. We just happened to cross paths about a year ago.
Oh, thank God you remember me. You living in this building now?
Yes. Well, for the last couple of weeks at least. I hope you've been well too.
Never been better. I mean, minus getting tossed out of my ass by my last job, ha.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm surprised you can be so casual about it.
As I say around these parts, c'est la vie. It gave me this chance to work with Giselle. I can't complain. When life gives you a lemonade... Wait, that's not how it goes. Shit.
You know, Morgana's a little different when Maria's around. It's cute.
Especially compared to how ruthless she can be with us. She seems almost like an ordinary teenage girl. But hey, if you live here now, that means we'll be seeing each other a bunch. Come down for lunch and I'll make you something special.
I'll consider it.
You do that. Actually, heck, forget that. You should just work here. Giselle would love to have you. We should get you a darling little waitress uniform.
Not a chance. You're not going to need that many hands at a newly opened cafe anyway.
The girls make such a big splash that we do need the hands. Gotta go in firing on all cylinders.
A bold claim for someone who was firing on 0 cylinders at their last job.
That's not on me. The place looked like crap at a crappy location with a crap owner. But the owners here are great. Giselle and her hubby are the most ridiculously sweet couple I've ever met.
But we are not married yet, Maria.
You're not? Weren't you talking about fixing that before the grand opening? She's sharp.
Yes, that was the plan, but it turned out to be more work than we expected, so we haven't had time for personal matters.
Come on, guys, this is a big deal. It's the sort of thing you want to get done now, or you're going to end up pushing it off forever. Say you open for business now, word spreads, and then you're up to your ears in customers. The deeper you get, the less and less time you'll have. Before you know it, your custom-tailored wedding dress isn't going to fit the same. It's no laughing matter, and you can't just let her handle everything. Bust out the calendar and start planning. Okay, you've made your point. Could we please change the subject?
I'm heading back upstairs.
Hold up, one question before you run off. Your name. We're basically neighbours now. I can't keep dancing around what to call you.
Did I never tell you?
No, you didn't. You barely said a word when you came to my cafe with you-know-who. Meanwhile, he had no idea when to shut up, talking my ear off about his dumbass job. Speaking of, you still in touch with him?
I am not, and I intend to keep it that way.
Figured. Something happened between you two. He was talking to me about how he'd never see you again. He seemed pretty concerned.
It was no one specific thing. That was just how things worked out.
Huh. Well, I'm not going to shove my nose into private matters I don't even understand. Oh, he still keeps in contact with Maria at least. Anywho, names. Mine's Maria. It's great to see you again.
Fate is a curious thing. I never imagined I would be here doing introductions with her again. My name is Morgana. It's my pleasure.
Morgana? That's a really nice name. Sounds Italian too. I'm from the Milan area. Love to show you around sometime.
It would be lovely to visit someday, yes.
We could rent a car, just drive wherever the road takes us. Morgana, you're not a fan of road trips then? I'm not married to the idea, we could always do something.
No, I'm fine with cars. That's not it. There's something I want to tell you, Maria. Thank you. And I'm so sorry.
Huh? I don't think anyone did anything worthy of thanks or apology.
It's for something you wouldn't remember long, long ago.
You've completely lost me, girl. I mean, even if anything did happen however long ago, you still don't need to apologize. Everything's totally cool.
If you say so.
I think I was right. The white-haired girl is in there with her.
I think so too, yeah. I'm glad they were able to make things work out.
As am I. Not everything's been lined up all nice and neat in a row. There's not much I can do about that myself.
Oh, Maria, I wanted to ask you something. Would you be interested in throwing a party before the opening for everyone who helped make it happen? And maybe some friends too.
We're gonna get our group photo, I believe. Oh, that sounds great. I'm all in. You already set on who's all coming?
Nope. I'm still in the idea phase. If you have anyone you'd like to invite, go right ahead.
You got it, boss. Except I just moved to the country and I don't know much of anyone. I'll see if I can think of anyone, though.
Oh, thank you. I am so excited. It's such a strange sight, the two of them here now, talking and laughing.
It certainly is. Back then, Maria was putting on an act, and Giselle was still in her role as the maid. This feels so much nicer. It's warm, and they're both themselves now.
I was going to say it's boring. There's no tension.
Normal is best. It's a luxury many aren't afforded. It's something I wish to do my best to never lose again.
There's no curse to get in the way anymore, so you should be fine. This is how things were meant to be. Besides, I know you. No wall is too high for you to scale.
I suppose you're right. That goes for you too, Morgana. You're not bound by the curse anymore yourself. Well, we should probably head up now. We'll probably come back down this evening with more refreshments. Would you like to help me make them?
The two of us, cooking. I hope you have a hearse parked outside to collect the bodies.
Uh-oh.
You learn. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to give it a try, though. What? You made dinner? Michel is already a surprise, but you helped too, Morgana. Good heavens! What miracle am I witnessing? That's a very unique and rather rude, if I do say so myself, way to say thank you. Would you like to try that again? Sorry, I just couldn't believe my ears. I'm thrilled though, really. If you don't mind me asking, where is the food?
They ordered takeout because they botched it. Oh. Alright, good.
It'll be here shortly. Michel is carrying it in. Come on, Michel, hurry it up. What's taking so long?
Don't rush me. I'm trying to keep my balance on the stairs so we don't have a disaster on our hands. If you want to speed it up, you could always help me carry it.
You need the exercise. I believe in you.
Finally made it. The food's here, everyone.
What is in the pot? Vegetable soup with extra vegetable.
Oh.
Didn't you say you were going to bring us something light and easy to eat outside? I was expecting, like, sandwiches, or even sandwiches.
I tried to tell her you wouldn't like it.
Quiet, you. Vegetable soup is all I know how to make. It's safe, impossible to mess up, and a good source of vitamins and minerals. What's not to like?
Sandwiches are equally easy to make, Morgana. You cannot mess that up.
Wow, this really is nothing but vegetables, not even a scrap of meat.
Boiled onions for the win. Oh, it's because of her time in the brothel, I'd assume. Are you a vegetable girl? Practicing to go live in the mountains?
Anyway, I will go run to the bakery and get some bread. We will probably want some cheese too.
Grab some beer while you're out too, would ya? I know we're not quite finished for the day, but it's cool, right?
Alright, sure. But today is the one and only day you get to drink on the job.
You can't mess up a sandwich? Vivi, what did you do?
Nothing better than a cold one outside at this time of the year. Nice cool breeze to go with it too. It's perfect. And then when summer comes around, it'll be there's nothing better than a cold one outside on a hot summer day.
Aha! You know me too well. When winter comes, it'll be no better way to warm up in this cold.
Michelle, you're not a child. Stop trying to avoid the carrots.
I was just saving them for later.
Is that so? Then I'm counting on you to eat all the leftover carrots when we're done.
Man, when you came out with the friggin' vegetable soup, I was getting ready to start looking for an escape plan. I can kinda dig this.
It feels like we are all one big family sitting around the table like this. I did not expect that from the old lady on the third floor, though. My, dinner outside tonight? Are you doing barbecue? No. Soup? You're having a soup party? Goodness me, kids these days certainly are unique. And then she just disappeared. Not another word.
The imitation probably wasn't necessary, Giselle. I bet money she's the type of lady to invite herself to a barbecue and scarf up all the meat.
There's nothing wrong with vegetable soup.
It's great, really. Very cozy having everyone together, eating from the same pot. And it's got all this real nostalgic flavor to it, too. I know, what judgy lady? Like, oh, soup party. Oh, welp, anyway, bye. Soup is great, alright? Like, I know it's maybe summer or autumn, but still. Not quite sure why, though. Maybe my mum made something like this.
Perhaps she did. There is a comforting familiarity to this whole situation. I've been here before, a long, long time ago. And I never imagined the stars would align like this again. I wonder if everyone else from back then is alive somewhere too. The girls from the brothel who pampered me like a little sister. The men from the slum peacekeepers group. Jaren, and even...
Alright, time to crack open a new can.
You have had more than enough, Maria. We still have work to do today.
Oh, psh! Take that stick out of your ass, you potty poop. Pooper. Pooper doop. I can work just as well tipsy as I can sober. You should have some too, Giselle. And you too, Michelle. Elle, you're over 16, right, Morgana? Beer it up too. Maria, please.
I'll pass, thank you. I'm not a fan of drinking.
I don't handle alcohol very well either, so I'll refrain too. You're no fun. Alright, Giselle, you got a drink for all three of you.
No. I will have a little, but that is it.
Oh. Time just skip twice.
The whole world is spinning! Wee! My master! It is quite rude to stare, you know. Oh dear! Don't tell me you don't remember me. That is quite the predicament.
Oh, she's going into her old maid routine. Wait. Only one light can of beer, I want to imagine.
Oh dear, don't tell me you don't remember me. That is quite the predicament.
I remember you perfectly. You can drop the maid act.
My, is that so? I will be right out with some herbal tea to help you wake you up.
You need help waking up more than me. Well, shit, I went a bit overboard, huh? I was not expecting her to get this kind of drunk.
Looks like you won't be getting any more work done tonight.
Should probably at least clean up this mess.
I'll give you a hand. Ahaha! So, master, when are we going to have our wedding?
Giselle, we can talk about that when you're sober.
Teehee.
Sorry for making such a mess out of things. Hopefully Giselle's hangover isn't too bad. I made sure she got plenty of water before putting her to bed. She should, hopefully, bounce back quickly.
Well, I certainly enjoyed the chance to see a very unusual side of Giselle. I wish you the best of luck on planning your wedding, Michel.
None of you are going to let me live that down, are you?
Ha! I really did have a great time, though. We should absolutely do this again sometime.
Of course. We'll have plenty of opportunities to get together going forward.
We sure will. Well, I gotta head back home now. Night, everyone. Catch y'all later. Have a safe trip, and see you again.
We should head inside too. You can come back up to our apartment if you like, or you could head to yours. It's up to you.
Hey, Michel. I had fun today.
That's great. I had fun too. I hope we'll see you at the soft opening party in a couple of weeks.
I'll give it a tiny bit of consideration.
She's considering.
And that does it! We are all ready to go.
You sure went all out on the decorations. Maybe a bit excessively so, even.
First impressions are the most important after all. I wanted to make a good one. It's almost time. I'm getting kind of nervous.
We're just having friends over for a casual party today. Save your nerves for the real grand opening.
Oh, sure, it'll just be friends, but I'm still making the food and serving drinks and stuff. That's plenty of reason to get nervous. She's wearing a little apron. It's like her not maid, modern maid outfit.
You just have to put it out on the table and everyone will serve themselves. You'll be fine, I promise. Just take a deep breath, girl. Think of it like a dry run. No pressure. You're just here to have fun, not a breakdown.
Deep breaths. I'll do my best.
Right over your head. I know you'll do great tonight, and the grand opening. Hell, I'd bet you handle it even better than me.
You really think so?
You've got a lot of experience cooking. You're a quick server and even quicker at cleanup. You're so damn on the ball, you'd think you'd grew up working as a maid at some bougie estate. Ha 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 ha.
I'm tempted to tell us that yes, in fact, I was the head maid at a Sicilian mafia estate, and that she was a maid's that too, and she called me creepy.
You'd be the model owner if you weren't such a heavy drinker.
A heavy drinker? What are you talking about?
Damn, you don't remember, do you? Wow, this is quite impressive.
The decorations are so excessive, it feels like you compressed an entire festival into your courtyard. I went all out and then some. Hehe. I'm so glad you came, Morgana. I'm not staying. I just thought I would stop in and say hi. Now, don't be like that. Lots of people are going to be here. I'm sure you could make a friend or two. Not interested, thank you. Out of curiosity, though, who exactly is coming? I invited everyone in the building. People who've supported me over the years, some friends from high school and uni. Well, some of Michel's co-workers. We invited our parents too, but they couldn't make it, so that's pretty much it. Oh, and some of Maria's friends too.
Not many. I only invited a few. And, speak of the devil, here comes the first two.
Oh, wow, they're early. I need to go get...
Ah!
Oh my god, it's amazing! There's so many adorable decorations!
There's so many variations of the same voice going on here. Gasp. 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 Don't run, Nellie. You'll hurt yourself. Oh, hello, Maria. It's nice to see you again. I'm so sorry for barging in like this.
Why are you friends with them, Maria?
Huh? Should I not be?
No, well, it's kind of weird that you'd be friends with kids so much younger than you.
Uh-oh. We met at the cafe where I used to work. I wouldn't say we're close enough to be considered friends. I heard they'd be in the country, so I figured I'd give him a call. Should I not have?
No. By all means, it is fine. I want to open a cafe as lovely as this one day. Then I can make sweets all day long.
That might not be the best idea, Nellie.
Are you saying my sweets are gross?
I never said that, no. Oh, hey, we should go introduce ourselves to the owner. Good evening, ma'am. It's a pleasure to meet you, and congratulations on the opening. My sister and I were invited here tonight courtesy of Maria. I apologize for intruding on this gathering of close friends. This is truly a lovely cafe. I'm certain it will be the talk of the neighborhood for many years to come.
Oh, thank you so much. You're very kind. And please, you're not intruding. A friend of Maria's is a friend of ours. I hope you both enjoy the party tonight. Oh, wow. It's Mel, but he's not a disaster! Mel! Mel, come on, you're forgetting something!
What? Oh, right, that. We brought you some treats from London. I hope you enjoy them.
Never mind. He's apparently still just as much of an airhead. That is a relief.
Oh.
Oh, you didn't have to do that, but thank you so much. You said you were from London. You're here on vacation then?
Yeah, we're in the country for a family vacation, and today we left our parents off to do their own thing.
I can't figure out if they're here for a vacation or to compete in the old-timers PDA contest. It's kinda gross.
As you can see, my sister was getting tired of having them around. It's just the two of us.
Wow. Well, I'm really glad to hear you all seem to be getting along. Yeah. How's your grandfather doing? Oh, Hayden. Uh-huh. Why do you want to know about our grandfather? He's in London, probably enjoying the peace and quiet. Oh, that is great. Sorry, curiosity got the better of me. Hayden. So now that I think about it, their grandfather might not even be Hayden in this life. If not, I hope he is out there somewhere too, healthy and happy. Anyway, please do have a good time. If you ever in the country again, our doors are always open. Of course, we appreciate the hospitality. Oh. Oh, right. Forgot. Are you here for the party too? You look to be about the same age as me. It's nice to meet you. Oh. Huh? I didn't do anything, did I? She seemed upset. What a snobby, stuck-up girl! Forget about girls like her, they're not worth your time. I guess. There's something about her that catches my eye. What? You don't mean you... No, not like that. I don't know. I feel like I've seen her somewhere before or something. Is she my other sister? I can't put it into words, but there's just something about her. Not in a love at first sight kind of way, though. Is that so? Well, even if it was love at first sight, I wouldn't have gotten in the way. You wouldn't have? Because I'm your sister. I'm not going to stop you from doing what you want to do with your life, even falling in love. Aww. Wow. Thank you, Nelly. Not at all, but if you ever fall for a girl who's not good enough for you, know that I will completely destroy her. Oh, completely is a bit excessive. Looks like I need to be careful when I find someone so no one gets hurt. Hope I can be friends with that girl someday. Maybe in a couple of decades. Oh, no French noises again. Oh, wow. That's a lot of people. Maybe we invited too many. The party's going to be over by the time I've managed to greet everyone. At first, Michel and Morgana are still here. Great. Off tucked away in a corner, but still here. Oh, those little loners. Oh, Maria! Oh, sorry I'm late. The traffic was insane. There you are. I thought you decided to ditch. Not that I care either way. Why do you have to be so mean to me, Maria? You're not like that to anyone else. Is it because we're such good friends you're comfortable speaking your mind around me? Girl, I wish I could get my head as far into the clouds as yours. You pretty much hit the nail on the head, though. Oh, you're so cute, Maria. Pauline, perhaps we should say hi to the host first. You can catch up with Maria after that. This is the owner of the cafe here, Giselle. Oh, hello. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Pauline, Maria's friend and Yukimasa's girlfriend. The pleasure is all mine. Oh, wow. I was not expecting her, so I really shouldn't be that surprised since Yukimasa already showed up. And she chose him again too, which I should have expected. I really hope nothing goes wrong. I hope you're able to find happiness this time, Pauline. You said that out loud. Not sure where that came from, but sure, thanks. I've always been happy, though. That is wonderful to hear. Sorry, I'm getting a little emotional. What? She's kind of an odd one, sorry. I should have warned you.
I do not want to hear that from you of all, ahem. I'd like to offer you my sincerest gratitude for your help over these past weeks. The renovations proceeded extremely smoothly thanks to you.
Not at all. If you ever need any more help, you have my number.
Yes, I do. You will be the first one I call when the pipes burst or the power goes out or the wall starts falling down.
You should probably call a professional for those. Girl says hi versus girl says blah. Would you mind telling me what I'm looking at? Why are they all here? I've no answer for that, Morgana. Your guess is as good as mine.
My head hurts. The boundless fear of fate turned out to be disappointingly small.
And that's the thing about fate. You never know where it will take you. Not until you're right there in the moment.
I have no intention of making friends with them just because our paths cross, though. This is the happenstance.
You don't have to get close to anyone you don't want to. That's your choice.
I'm too tired for this. Too many people. I'm going back inside before any of them has a chance to talk to me.
Alright. Well, the party's only just begun. If you change your mind, you're welcome to come back down at any point.
That's a very big if. Oh, Michelle! Perfect! Pauline and Yukimasa have just arrived.
Ah, Eucalyptus. Good evening. My name is Michelle. Giselle's told me just how much help you on the renovations. Thank you for that, and I apologize for not introducing myself until tonight.
How can you be so composed? I've been freaking out all night here.
I saw, and I must say it was rather entertaining to watch.
Wow, you are a jerk.
Not at all. I quite enjoyed the work. It was a fantastic outlet for my pent-up stress. That's great to hear. Don't want to let stress build up too much. Indeed. Feel like I've seen you somewhere before, like in a stained glass window. The last time I am not an angel.
Yes, you are, Michelle. You're beautiful.
Aw, everyone. Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Oh.
I literally just bailed.
Oh. I haven't seen Morgana in a while. Did you go back inside?
She said she needed a break from all the people.
Oh, that is too bad. I was hoping she would enjoy seeing everyone and mingling.
I can understand why she wouldn't want to. She didn't forgive them for what they did. Only decided she didn't want to curse them anymore. If I were her, I wouldn't want to make friends with them either, knowing what they had done to me, regardless of it not having been this iteration of them.
I suppose you're right. I do think it would be nice if someday she could come to move past it all.
They're not the same people they were 1,000 years ago. I don't know what they have gone through in their new lives, but something tells me they won't be making the same mistakes. They look the same on the outside, but I sense a strength and unity from the way they interact. Newfound determination, if you will. At least, that is how I read it.
I pray you're right. The 3 days I spent with everyone here was in a realm outside reality, meaning I'd never really interacted with any of them until this life. But still, I like to hope that the conversations we shared and the vows we exchanged still existed somewhere within them, an infinitesimal fragment of their souls. And so, the party came to a quiet end. From a distance, it looked almost like a big 1,000 years in the making reunion. Only myself, Giselle, and Morgana appeared to have those memories. Everyone lived their own lives, with very little overlap. Though I couldn't help but sense the hand of fate in those who had been especially close in their previous lives coming together again in this one. Even without the witch's curse to bring them together, their souls had still formed profound bonds. Bonds naturally born from an unnatural length of time shared together in the realm of the dead. I believe that although Morgana had only wished for Giselle and I to come back, it was these unimaginably powerful connections that had allowed all of them to be reborn into this era. Nonetheless, seeing them again still came as quite a surprise. Now that our paths had crossed once, perhaps we were at a greater chance of it happening again in the future. But for now, there was little point in speculating about what may come our way. We had our own lives to live too. A completely fresh start, and we wanted to make sure we got it right this time. We were no longer under the influence of the curse, which meant no more reconstruction for any of us. This was our one chance. That went for them as much as it did for us. So we had to make the best of it. Live our new lives to the fullest. He didn't come after all. It was raining that day. I lamented the present, knowing nothing yet of my past. I didn't care what happened to me. I was convinced I was the most worthless person in the world. That I belonged nowhere. Having regained those lost memories, though, my grief for this life had been all but irrelevant. However, I hadn't forgotten the 2 weeks of normalcy that pulled this me up from the dark place. Oh. Morgana? What are you doing here?
I could ask you the same thing. It's not raining, so you have no reason to take this shortcut.
I've taken this route at home every day since you left, chasing after shadows that had long since disappeared.
No, they're playing the lyrics!
Oh, sorry. That was kind of creepy, wasn't it?
You've been crossing through this park every day for a year now.
1 year and 2 months. It was spring when you were here last.
I see you're as nitpicky as ever. Late spring, early summer, it's all the same thing.
They are both beautiful times of the year, yes.
Am I dreaming? Did you say something positive?
Right. How have you been?
Well enough, I suppose.
What brings you back to this park? I hope it's not because you can't go home again.
Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm just on a walk. I moved out of that home and into an apartment recently, where the owners are currently throwing a party. I snuck out because it was exhausting me, and I'll head back in a bit when it's safe again.
I see. You never were good with festivities, huh? Reminds me of that time at the Midsummer Festival. No.
I don't just mean there were a lot of people. The people from back then have begun drifting together again.
What do you mean?
My landlord is Michel. Giselle lives with him too, and I've been hanging out in their apartment quite a bit lately. So I'm doing well. Life is good.
That's great. I'm glad. That's what I want for you. I guess. You got to be the one to set you free this time too. All I ever do is hurt you.
Were you not invited to the party? Maria said she was asking everyone she knew.
She did, but I wasn't much in the mood for merrymaking, so I decided against attending.
I assume she didn't tell you I was going to be there then.
Yeah, she probably thought I wouldn't go if I knew, which in the end wouldn't have changed anything either way. But I think I made the right choice. Anyway, I'm glad to see you're doing so well. It's a huge relief, and I mean that. Plus, you got people you can talk to if you run into any bumps in the future. You're in a good place. I couldn't be happier.
It really is a good place, yes. There's one thing I want to tell you.
I'm all ears.
I appreciate what you did for me last year. Thank you.
You're thanking me?
If you hadn't taken me in, I quite likely would have died out here. And the note you gave me, that last day. Because of that, I was able to find hope and the strength to fight. Reading what you wrote there helped me realize something obvious. My life belongs to me. A fact so simple and self-evident, and yet so elusive to me. You're the one who helped me reach that truth. I stopped letting him trample all over me, and it worked. It was far from an easy battle, and he had lots of nasty things to say in the process, but his words, they somehow didn't hurt me anymore. The determination to take my life into my own hands gave me power. The will to search for a way out, of which there were many hiding in plain sight. I just had to open my eyes and so many options opened up to me. Not to mention, knowing what I'd been through in the past made what I was going through in the present seem rather trivial. It could always be worse, couldn't it?
I know it isn't my place to say this, but your pain is not trivial. Once again, you were born into a family that doesn't love or appreciate you. That's a terrible thing to have to go through. That said, I'm glad you were able to get out. And I hope that one day, perhaps you can be reunited with your birth father, or that your mother is able to open her eyes.
I don't. Even if by some astronomical chance either of those are to happen, there's no guarantee I would be able to forgive them. I'm happy with what I have now.
I'm glad.
Well, that's all I wanted to say. I've given you my thanks.
You sure love your formalities. No thanks were necessary.
It was bothering me, and now I feel much better.
Oh, she's gonna cut off ties forever. I can feel it.
Anyway, as far as I'm concerned, everything's settled between us now. So long, Jacopo. I'm going to live my life the way I choose.
I see. And I'll be praying that it's a life full of happiness, because that's all I can do for you. Farewell, Morgana. Wait, don't go, Morgana! I know that the right thing to do is just let you go. And I know that you have people in your life now that will treat you right. That with our memories, I'm nothing but a blight. But despite that, despite every last thing, I don't want you to leave me. I love you from the bottom of my heart.
You're such a half-wit. I wonder if you have any wits left in you. Why did it have to be me? Why do you love me so much? So much that it's turned you into the sad, blubbering mess.
God, I wish I could tell you. It would be so much easier if I could just let you go. But my heart won't even give me the option. Again and again I tried to convince myself to cast these feelings into the fire, but nothing worked. There's nothing I can do.
Heavens, you escaped one curse only to end up under another. I want you to know, it's your fault I'm here in this world now.
What do you mean?
By leading your soul out from the illusory realm where it was meant to fade into nothing, my own soul ended up stuck on the same path. You remember that, don't you? The endless fields of wheat, of that foolish dream world.
I remember. But wait, I always thought that was just my own self-serving fantasy. Are you saying that the you in that dream was actually you?
That it was. And what a dream that was! You saying you'll win my heart, pleading with me, wrapping your arms around me and sobbing like a child. You don't have a shred of shame in you. So what's your next move now that you've stopped me from leaving?
I want to put my arms around you again.
Absolutely not! Burn in hell, you disgusting man!
If not that, there's someplace I want to take you.
And where's that?
I mean, our homeland.
Italy?
Wait, what? Right now?
Sure. Let's go search for our homeland.
Are you sure, Morgana?
Don't blame me. I've spent so long here that your idiocy is starting to rub off. And when we go, we're bringing Maria as well. You have as much responsibility to her as you do to me. I don't expect you to never fight, but no more betrayal from either of you. You're no longer under my curse, so if you mess up this time, you have absolutely no one to blame but yourself. So don't you put me through that.
Oh, you don't have to tell me. I'm not gonna screw up again, because I know what's really important now. Thank you, Morgana, for showing me the way.
For the record, though, I still despise you. I can't just put it all in the past like Michel and Giselle. So you'll need to do much better for me now. Enough to blot out all the seething hatred you instilled in me then. Enough to convince me not to want to curse you again. And then maybe one day, I'll be able to feel the same way about you as you do me.
I will, absolutely. You have my word, Morgana. I did not expect that, honestly. God damn. Oh! They're actually ending this on a really positive note. I'm so surprised. I mean, I expected it to not end in tragedy, but they're like giving me double of the positivity.
Hey, Mel! Does the whipped cream look whipped enough? I think it needs to be a little thicker if you want it to stand up on the cake. No! Whipped cream is better soft and fluffy. It looks cheap when it's really thick. I wouldn't say that. Why did you even ask me if you've already made up your mind?
She's like the owl in Reading Rabbit.
Are you done cutting the strawberries? Hurry up, I want to put them on. That trip to France really seems to have lit a fire under you, huh? Yep, I'm going to become the greatest patissier in all of England. No, all the world.
Oh my god.
Well, I'll be cheering for you. I give her a week tops.
You can maybe become the patissier who uses the most sugar in all the world. Oof.
All right, I've got lots of work to do. It's great that she has something she wants to do, though. Maybe she'll even stick with it, and her dream will come true someday. I guess I'm the one who should stop buckling down. I need to come up with a dream of my own.
These two crazies.
Hey, Yukimasa. I've been wondering, does watching people die like this in movies do anything for your urges?
Not in the slightest. I mostly watch them by force of habit now. But I still prefer them to movies, where everyone gets happy endings. I know that he's, you know, him. But I didn't expect them to have the most tragic end? Maybe they're happy. I don't know. I guess they're happy. You know what? It's a happy ending for them, so who are we to... I mean, we can judge if he met his people, but...
Then you must not have enjoyed our first date very much. If you let me choose, I'll always go for the sappy stuff.
And he must not be enjoying this one.
No, I am. I used to think sad movies and violent movies weren't really my thing. But I started giving them a chance. I'm finding they're not that bad. Maybe it's in my blood, too.
Oh.
You don't want to watch movies about people getting hurt. You want to hurt me for real, don't you? You don't need to hold back. Come at me. I can handle anything.
Stop it. Don't talk like that. I swore to restrain my urges. And if I ever do hurt you, Pauline, that's the end of the road.
For you and for me.
Pauline, are you really okay with...
Of course I am. This is a path I chose, and I don't regret it for a second. Because it means I get to spend my life with you. wherever it may end.
And now your vows. I take thee to be my wedded wife, to have and to hold from this day forward, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, till death do us part. According to God's holy ordinance, and thereto I pledge thee my faith.
I take thee to be my wedded husband, to have and to hold, from this day forward, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, till death do us part. According to God's holy ordinance, and thereto I plead thee my faith.
Did he always have long hair? He's always had long hair. At least his hair is nice and neat now. You should have seen him before. You may now exchange your rings. She's shaking. There's nothing to be nervous about, Giselle. You said your vows without any problems.
I'm not nervous. I'm just doing everything I can to not burst into tears. I don't want to make a mess of the ceremony by sobbing in front of all of our guests.
Huh. If you want to cry, you're free to cry. Honestly, I doubt anyone here would be too surprised.
Hey now!
The ring is on, and may it symbolize many, many more happy years together, Giselle.
Of course, Michelle. I guess you really are the master of the house now.
Oh, you. Meanwhile. Fuck! That really was the wrong turn. I knew we should have taken a left back there. Seriously, do you not know how to read a goddamn map? Piss off, I made one little mistake. No, this is the third. The other 2 times I caught you before you could take us off course.
Fine, fine. I'm so sorry. If you're gonna bitch about it, I'll drive and you can navigate.
No, you drive like a maniac. You take us straight off a cliff in 10 minutes tops.
I'm not that bad a driver. Well, you sure never stop complaining, and you're just as bad a driver as her. There's no winning here. Ugh, I'm gonna be sick.
Oh! Christ, it'll be night by the time you reach the lodge. Where the hell even are we right now? What kind of rental car doesn't have a GPS anyway? This isn't the goddamn Stone Age. Come on, this ain't half bad either. If we don't make it to the lodge, we can figure something else out. Getting lost is half the fun of traveling. Let's just take it nice and easy. I'm sure Morgana'd like it if we took a break here and there too.
I'll leave everything to you.
Huh. Alright, fine. The view here honestly isn't terrible, considering we're not even at our destination. I'm like 2 seconds from crying. This is everything that I wanted and more.
You think? It just looks like a regular old wheat field to me. I'm sure it was nothing special there, too.
Huh? Where?
Nothing. It's not important.
You're probably right about that. I never needed to make it to the top of the world, most important things, other than those nothing special places. I just wasn't able to see it.
What has gotten into you two? Getting sentimental over nothing.
Oh crap, I think I got some dirt in my eye. Now I'm tearing up here.
Something's gotten into me too, man. It's like I've been looking for this kind of quiet place my whole life.
I'm glad I got to see this with you both.
Oh god, stop it with the mushy crap. You're gonna make me sick. What's next? The sky falling and busting up our car?
Christ almighty. You're the one who keeps telling me to be more open about my feelings. Hypocritical much.
I'm getting there. Just give me a second. I'm glad I could be here with you two too. And I couldn't be happier to have you in my life. Me too. I'll cherish this moment for as long as I live. And I think I can even feel kind of grateful I was born again into this world. Michelle! You're in there, aren't you? You, the other side of me. And Michelle, the saint. You can see this, can't you? The home you so long to see again. We're here. It's not just the three of us looking out upon these fields. There's four. Are you gonna show white hair girl?
What's up, Morgana?
Oh, nothing. Anyway, we can't spend all day here. Let's get back on the road. As beautiful as the scenery is, our checking time isn't getting any farther away. No amount of sentiment is going to change that.
What's gotten into you? A few minutes ago, all you could say was I'll leave it to you, and now you're taking charge.
You always got to sweat the details, don't you? Morgana's getting excited. Let's get going.
I hope you figured out how to read a map this time, Maria.
Trust me, dude, I got this. I am starting to think this map's a bit outdated, though. It's like, don't exactly match up to what I'm seeing, you know?
We're never gonna get there.
Oh, right at the next light.
You sure? You absolutely positive? You checked at least 3 times, right?
I did. Have a little faith, my dude.
Oh no, Maria's just me.
Like biting my hand. No! No! This is too precious for me. There are times of charm. Hell yeah, it is. Oh man.
Oh jeez, that's a lot of stuff. Okay.
I'm just gonna like bask in this. This is just, it's so good. Oh man. This is pretty much the end. This is what we've been waiting for, and it's so good. This is like the best ending we could have asked for. Oh, he changed it again. I don't want to change it. I need to BRB one sec, but I'm just gonna leave this here.
Look how nice it is! From her being alone on the bench in the rain to this. They really deserve this happy end. It's so good.
I go through you, but I cannot forget. I go through you, and we'll never look back. Why you call me in my head repeats again. I left you there in my own memory. I buried you there. When the twilight comes and behind the blue sky, lighting on the grass, I close my eyes and find that you are there. Why can't I just forget? And no more. I left you there in my own memory. I buried you there. Now the twilight comes, let it palm the blue sky. I will be your coffin. The evening bells and the mountains cry by my fresh juvenile.
Alright, I'm back.
And the death to the path. I buried you in my
I'm feeling just so happy right now.
you set me on fire.
I wonder what the short stories are even about. I'm not gonna do them right now, of course. No way. I want to leave this on a nice, happy note.
I cannot look back. I go
We did it! We finished Fata Morgana, pretty much.
I cannot forget.
What a great series. What a really good story. What great characters. Never have I felt more satisfied by an ending. Just... God, they really deserved this ending. I really wanted to see it so badly.
Then the sunrise another day. I hear the chime.
So I know I just left and came back, but I guess we're ending it here, so... I got some work to do anyway, so I might as well go do that too. Yeah. Real good, the music's great. I love the music so much. The music really, it really helps, doesn't it? But it's like I'm gonna be listening to it later being like,
This is the end. This is when all the wholesome things were happening.
I'm glad you were here for the end too, Vivi. You get to feel a nice little emotional moment. Even if you didn't see the more gritty ones. Probably for the best.
Yeah. You got to see the ending. I'm glad you joined us for that.
Wish you could rewatch from the beginning. I'm just like thinking about when I first played this, I was so confused by everything, and everything was just so like new and weird. You were there for that, Vivi, even. I remember you were like, oh, this is weird. This music's really strange. Like, yeah. Crazy. To think, I could have totally not played this. That's the sad part. I could have totally not played this. I've made them all to video. Yeah, I've saved all of them. Of course I would. This is such just... Listen, I'm gonna be going back and being like, remember when this happened, when this happened? I'm just gonna be watching all of that shit. Like, So it was just a game trying to be dark and edgy. Yeah. I was really worried that it was gonna be like that when I first went in, but I really got trapped by the music when I was watching the trailer. It just really captivated me. And then, I didn't know anything about the characters too because the trailer I watched was in Japanese. So it didn't tell me anything about anyone, so I was like, oh, I don't know what's going on over here, but okay. The art style looks really interesting. So I was like, huh, interesting. Yeah, it's a really good story. It's a lovely story. It's so well written. And it just gets chopped on and on and on. And then this one was, it's like the catharsis at the end of it. It's so nice. The B storyline is obviously the edgiest one. And I think it's only fitting that they got the end over here. I don't think they could have gotten a better ending, honestly. With the way that they are. It probably just fits them the most. But that storyline was also the... That is what sold the game to me too, Lynn. That story was so well written. You're watching Criminal Minds? Damn. That's a mindset to get into now with this. It manipulated me. It manipulated me all the way. I was so confused. It was very good though. Season 10? Damn. Bursting through that. Although I am too. I burst through Peep Show. I got really sad when that was over. Now I'm bursting through thick of it, which is kind of like Peep Show, but mostly government and more documentary-ish. It's just got, what's his face? What's that dude's name? Old boy. Got old boy, old Scottish yelly dude. He's just like swearing it at everyone's so crazy. He's like, he comes up with the best swears and I love it. He's just so good at insulting people. It's so funny to watch him. Can't remember his name. Me neither. I was talking about him yesterday too. Pecking... Doctor... sweary Scottish yelly boy. That's all I can think of. But yeah, I should wrap up here, but where are they from? They were the second last Doctor on Doctor Who. They were the dad on Skins. This yelly dad on Skins. They are Malcolm, the politician boy from Thick of It. The most important character in that show, simply by being the most entertaining character. He is Peter Capaldi, that's his name. Amazing. I love him. I love him so much. Even on Doctor Who, where they have to censor him down to not be as sweary, I feel like he's still very, he pulls a lot of attention, He's got that presence and it's very nice to watch him. He's a very interesting Doctor, even though I didn't watch too much of that one.
just feel like so happy, so I'm just gonna leave and go eat some food, baby. Make some tea. It's nice to talk about this with people, though. I'm really glad I got to, like, share this experience with you two. Mostly Flynn. But I'm glad you were there for the end as well. So, technically, 2. And some other people as well, which was nice. You really didn't count. Yeah. It's fine, BB. You're here for reincarnation. It's mostly Flynn. With Flynn, I can just like talk about it now later on and be like, remember that moment in Fata Morgana? I also joined the server, which was really nice, and it's nice to talk about it with them too. There's some other people that are going through the game, and they're just talking about it in the dedicated servers or channels, being like, oh my god, this is happening. What's going on? And I'm like, oh, you sweet person who's going through this game. Same. Wait, I'm gonna do you know what? This scene is so cute. It's so gosh darn cute. I'm gonna do this. Do this. Do this. There we go. Oh heck! Kokichi, you're in the way! Kokichi, get out of the way, you're ruining the scene. This here, you're in the corner now. So are you. You're on top of his head now. There you go. Alright, I'm gonna go. Bye-bye, take care. Have a great day.